Everyone, welcome to the weekly review. Another barely red week. We had point 0.20 minus 0.22 last week, and this one minus 0.37, and an inside week with a negative bias. Potential for a breakdown next week, in which we go down. Could be another inside week, but bearish bias nonetheless. And on the daily, I think we bounced on the 20 MA. Yeah, on the 20 MA. Don't know if we hold. We have the 50 at 495 and it's gonna get a bit higher. And the monthly we have sort of a rejection candle, not conclusive yet. And in theory, if we get rejected, the target would be either the midpoint, which is it Feb range? So it's going to be either the mid range, which is 497.97, which would be confluent with the 50 MA, and if that doesn't hold, 483, um, visible on the weekly as well. And let's look at the daily. So uh, most likely short-term target, like we should hit this one even if JPOW is bullish, meaning it can happen in 1 or 2 days. It's a very small drop percentage-wise, like relative to yesterday's close. Let's say we go to the 50 MA, is 2.85. That's not that much, and we can see this kind of drop in 1 day or 2 days. And don't think that it has to close like this. Like we can go down, push a bit below 500, and then get to the 50 MA, have a strong bounce, and even close above 500. So that would be, let's say we close above 500, it would just be 1.8 drop. So this would be like Monday and Tuesday. We have continuation down, and then J pauses the market on Wednesday, and we go up from there and make new highs. And that would have been the March OPEX dip. Now the other option is the midpoint doesn't hold, and then the 50 MA doesn't hold, obviously, and we keep going down. If we keep going down, the target is to make an engulfing candle on the monthly and take out these lows. For us to be an engulfing candle, it has to have the high and low above the highs and low of the previous month. The low of the previous month is 483, and uh, that target would probably be to take this out. Most likely, target would be like 482 ish, something like this. It won't take the lows out in a significant way, just barely, and that would probably be an 100 MA tag. We'll see when it happens. I'm more bullish than bearish on this one. I think it's a lot more likely that uh, we bounce on the 50 MA area, like just below 500, and that's kind of it. We may push down further and get a fake out, but that's part of the game. It is what it is. Now going back to the micro details, we had this channel here. Couldn't push quite to 520. We stopped at 518, and then we dropped. We seem to be losing the channel, and I think we will. Feb high has become now resistance, and probably we're gonna continue down, and it's just a continuation of the move. We may get a few bounces, but if we are to get to this area and then bounce, we have to see kind of a flush. And I would expect it more Monday than Tuesday. Like we continue down, we get to this area, and then we see the bounce. Whether or not the midpoint holds, it's up to JPOW. Expectation is that JPOW is going to be dove because there's no reason to believe otherwise. Even if economic data is strong, they're going to say that the risk is to growth now. If economic data is weak, they're going to say, yeah, it's due time, we do cuts. So I don't expect anything to change on what the FOMC brings, and it's going to be dovish either way. Whether that proves to be a policy mistake, no idea, and we don't even care. But if this doesn't hold, because I don't know, JPOW is bearish or the market interprets it as bearish, we probably go below this, and target would be to go to 483. I think this is a lot less likely than getting the bounce here. If we get this dip, target is I'm gonna to bounce on Wednesday on the FOMC. Let's say this is like this. So this would be the dip. If we continue down, the timing is to get it by end of month. Actually, we have to go lower than that. So like this, end of quarter. So this is how it should play out. Either we bounce here next week, and then we keep going up until quarter end, and probably do another pullback then, like this. We test the highs and then do another pullback. Or we keep going until quarter end, and then we bounce. Like I said, I think this is the more likely version. We shall see based on what happens at the FOMC. Now looking at some other stuff, oil. Still the expectation, oil names are breaking out. I'll show some in the individual names video. Uh, this is the last blocker. Once we get past this level, it should be a surge up and get to 94, 95, like I said last week and in the Twitter post by April 15th. Then we have yields. Yields are moving higher, but who's going to stop them? It's going to be JPOW. So I would expect that we get a surge in yields uh, in sync with the market drop that should take us below 500 briefly, like something like this. And then JPOW comes and we get dumpy again for yields. Maybe this, something like this. Maybe this goes up later once we go down a bit. But for now, I don't see any reason for yields to go higher until we get more economic data that says growth is very high or something like that. And they should dump quite rapidly if we get economic data that is bad. Maybe this go to 5.9 and then have another surge up like this if inflation comes back in force. So down before up. Bitcoin is bouncing, yay. Okay, so last trigger for spotting the peak of the drop is this ghost print we had in VVIX on December 13, 111.85. If the sharp drop on Monday, Tuesday scenario comes through, I would expect both VIX and VVIX go up like crazy, and we get a spike, then we get rejected, do like a high weak candle, and it will go back down quickly after the FOMC. So another signal that we have reached the bottom in in the move down is that we get a VIVIX tag of 111.85 from this ghost print. I'm surprised this didn't go away because VIX didn't do that much of a move on December 13th. This was the move in VIX and it was the bottom in VIX. And at that bottom in VIX, we got a ghost print we got a ghost print for VVIX at 111.85. I think it will tag it in the upcoming substantial drop. But this type of move in VIX that doesn't lead to a big price change in price is actually pretty bullish. Like if we for the short term, if we go here and the market is only down like 3%, like I said, at the bottom, and then reverses up and closes bullish, then we just went very high in VVIX and VIX. Maybe VIX gets to 18 in a candle like this, but then we have a lot of room to drop and it actually feeds the rally. This is kind of what I think will happen. So it's a deep buying opportunity. I'll post some individual names as well. Have a good one. Bye bye.